What's your first and last name?
My first name is Lenise, last name Brown.
Can you spell that first name for me?
Lenise, last name Brown, Brown.
So what did you see?
I was there from the beginning to the end. I actually saw the police. I saw the guy that he searched everybody, first of all. All of them was sitting around in chairs. When I was headed to my sister's house, which stays, a house over from her, Miss Smith, it was about 6 or 7 people sitting in chairs. The police officers, the one that was driving, the black guy, he drove up. The other ones hadn't even got out the truck. He jumped out the truck, run to the door, kicked the door in. Then all the other ones fell out of the truck to start searching the people that was out there. He told us to move back, so I stood out there talking while he was talking with her husband sitting in the chair. He found drugs on the outside, the one with the police officer with the dark hair, because the guy that was sitting in the chair, he was the last one for them to search. And when he got up for him to search him, he threw the drugs down on the ground right by the police officer. And I stood there for a long time wondering when the police officer was going to spot the drugs and actually pick it up. It was a bag of weed. He let the guy go on down the sidewalk, asked him where he lived. He said, I live down the street. They let him go. Okay, then when he came back up to where her husband was sitting, Isaiah was sitting, he saw the drugs and he picked them up. And I looked at him and he was looking dead at me. I said, I was wondering when you were going to find them. And then he said, well, let me go notify the other officers. So the little silver-haired officer, the older man, he went to the door, knocked on him to come out and told him he found what they was looking for out in the yard, which was not in front of her house. It was over more or less toward a rose bush where the guy was sitting down in the chair. But he's the one throwed it down, and the officer found it when all the other officers was in the house.
So you're saying there's no reason for them to go into the house?
No. They had already kicked the door in and everything. When the man found the drugs was on the outside of the house, because I stood up and watched them drugs, I know 30 minutes. And I said, I wonder if he was going to ever look down and pick them up. So, then when the little silver-haired policeman, the older one, came out, he gave him the drugs, told him, this is what you're looking for. I found it out here in the yard. The little old silver man said, he just tired of this. I'm tired of it. And he told her husband, he said, well, if you're tired of it, maybe you need to find a different type of employment. He told him, I'll shoot you in your damn face. Now, that's exactly what he said. So, naturally, he gets angry, and I said, don't say anything to him. Let's go. And I walked him away from the situation, because they had tore that house completely up. Then they sent all the officers back in. After I told him, I know the officer told him that he knew I spotted that drugs and stuff. He didn't get it out that house. Then he sent all the other officers in to clean up the house. He cleaned the house up better than it was before he came, before they tore it up. I've never seen officers go back in after they tear your house apart and clean it up. They clean up the entire house, the closet, everything. And she told him, go upstairs, look upstairs, there's nothing there. But they didn't want to go up there then because they had found the drugs on the outside. I was standing right there by the officer when he picked it up. But I think it's just ridiculous, because I asked the older police officer, I said, what address were you all looking for? He said, we supposed to be going to an inn apartment. I said, well, this is not an inn apartment. I said, and believe it or not, I know where you're supposed to be going, down the street to the inn apartment. I pointed and actually showed him where you were supposed to be going. And he said, that's true. He looked on his little pad.
A letter N or an N?
No, the inn, the actual end of the building, not in the same building, but down the street. When I pointed at the apartment, he pulled out his pad and looked it up. When he looked it up, he said, you're correct. And they knew then they had made a mistake. But, they brought her son out the house, handcuffed, throwed him out the door, throwed him on top of his head, and the boy started going into a seizure. So me and my sister was telling him, you can't beat him like that. He was getting ready to tase him. And she screamed, don't do that, because he's going into a seizure. He has seizures. And that's when they let him, they tried to get him up then, put him in the car, and this other 2 officers, they were still banging on him when they put him in the car. But then the black guy came back and he apologized. But it was like a movie, like a Steven Seagal movie. And that's exactly what it was like. The Wild Wild West.
Thank you very much.
And the police openly admitted they had the wrong house.
Thank you.